Welcome. Happy days. It is time for your final match of week 2 here in season 7. Kind of finally starting to get into our rhythm a little bit, you know, with the holidays here in the States and the OWCS World Finals going on and all that. Week 1 was feeling a little rough, right? I was kind of having a hard time getting into the rhythm myself. But week 2, we're finally kind of finding our groove. We've got 2 teams that actually started their journey in Expert Division. I find that pretty cool. You know, one has been on that journey for a little bit longer than the other and has been in Master Division for a little bit longer than the other. But both of these 2 teams started their journey in Expert and had to fight their way through Expert, and you know, both ended up being champions of Expert Division. It was Artemis back in season 4, and then Element Guard here more recently here in season 6. We're crowned champs. Just most recently, we're defending champs here in Expert Division, or over in Expert Division. So both started the year here in Expert and have moved up here into Master to close out the year, and will be moving into 2026 at the highest division here in FACEIT League. So pretty cool story. It's kind of a battle of teams that have really been through the rennet and fought hard to earn their spot here in this top 16 teams in North America FACEIT League, right? You know, it's still early in the season. As far as standings and stuff, we're still kind of, you know, getting that worked out. You know, there's not even really a whole lot to show you as far as standings go, but you know what? Let's take a look. Let's get into it. Element Guard are coming in, you know, what did I say? They were 1 and 2? Or 0 and 1, excuse me. And then Artemis are 2 and 0. So yeah, and Element Garden find themselves with a singular match play. I will say this is a team that hadn't put up a loss. Prior to that, legit had not lost since August 27th. So, you know, we put up a whole string of wins there to close out Expert Division all the way through to the, you know, went through the winners bracket and took the championship. But you run into Amplify early, right? You run into a season and rebuilt Amplify, and it's like, welcome to Master Division. And that's pretty normal, right? That's pretty normal for teams that are moving up from Expert Division. They struggle. They tend to struggle. To be fair with y'all, I don't have Elemental Garden placed super high in my power rankings because it is so difficult to fight your way up. It feels like every season, I mean, if you can fight your way up and do a couple little slots better than you did the season before, I mean, you're doing work, and you're eventually going to find yourself in playoffs and find yourself, you know, slowly rising to the top, particularly if you know you're able to stay with the same roster and keep that synergy and just keep building on it, which is pretty much what we've seen their opponents do tonight. So Iliad Artemis coming in 2 and 0, and this is a team that started back in season 2, and they spent 3 seasons in Expert, where it took Element Garden but 1. Right? Element Garden, season 6 was their FACEIT League debut. They come out, they win Expert Division. It's a team that completely caught me off guard. I notoriously didn't even have them in my power rankings when I first made them to start season 6, and then they end up being your champions, right? I notoriously overlooked the champs when I first made power rankings for North America Expert season 6. But they come out with a 13 and 3 debut and just a spectacular run. Artemis took them 3 seasons, but man, it felt like that time just pressing this team into a diamond, right? You know, just slowly more and more pressure is compressing it in, and they have continued to shine more and more every season. So by season 4, they come in with a 14 and 2 record, similar to what we see on the other side here. You know, we're seeing some parallels, right? We're seeing some parallels. Second place overall finish regular season to a flawless run in a grand finals. We're looking at Artemis, they're 14 and 2, second place finish. They do it through the losers bracket, but they still get it done with the grand finals, have been in Master Division ever since. Opened up with a 7 and 8 record, but have continued to improve here from, you know, the past 2 seasons. In season 6, they're able to move up to a winning record and earn a spot in playoffs, right? Making it in top 8, making it into playoffs at NA Master, that's nothing to scoff at. Right, even though they got 0-2 out of playoffs, and I'm sure that stung a little bit, and it's not the results they were looking for. That is still just the fact that you made it into top 8 in the region for FACEIT League. It's fantastic. Element Garden are going to get first map pick tonight. We saw it was a Nepal pick and then a Juno ban. So let me get all that swapped around. That's neither here nor there. What matters? The real gamers here, the real aimers on your screen. It's Artemis taking on Elemental Garden. Let's get into it. Your final match of week 2. And right out of the gate, Maverick and the what feels like their signature hero. When I think of Maverick, I think of the Ramatra, and just batters down that front line, immediately finding picks. Onto Seal Noises? Seal Noises? Let's see, who is Seal Noises? I'm curious now. Bion is there, should be there, yeah. Bion's their hits. Seal Noises is Calliope fan. There we go. Yeah. What a name. What a name. Then we have immediate teleport to the high ground, and once again, Maverick finds the Symmetra. I previously talked about in these Symmetra Cups, even before this kind of revival of Symmetra here in the past month or two, that the Symmetra is the cornerstone of the composition. Now, with the Lucio alongside, you do see the amp speed disengage. I also have Artemis. Listen, wait, what? Oh, did I get it backwards in the title? No, let me go. Oh, no, I just, like, copy-pasted weird. Yeah, no, that's not how that was supposed to go at all. There you go. Alright, thank you, Sorcerer, nice. Okay, now what, wait, what happened in that fight? No idea. We heard a Kitsu, and Artemis were able to win one. There you go. For Risky to come back, clearly did not match the Kitsu in that previous fight. Yeah, it got everybody. My whole team is sick. And so nobody, like... Particularly our captain, apparently, has just been super sick. Try to teleport in. Bion's going to get cut down immediately. Amado flies that one right out of the gate. Bion, I've seen very impressive things from Bion. I think needs to get involved, you know, get in the mixer. We are going to get a cheeky little steal of the point. And Garden have managed to wrestle this thing away. Bion's going to return with this overclock, and like I said, I know has the chops to, you know, win this out. Boom, you're coach of Garden. You're just coach of everybody, Boom. You're just coach of everybody, my friend. There's the Bion 06. We talked about Industrial immediately responds. Firecarter gets that beat down. Able to match. Bio, woo! Nice kill on the Pain Car up top. Drop it down. Maverick is low. The Nemesis form will fade away. Heals coming in from up top. Mardix drops in, throws the Suzu, trying to help protect. Maverick's still just skating about with about 100 to 200 health. Into the back line. Vindy drops the mech in, and Bion gets two. I don't know how Vindy even got back into mech is a miracle. Hey, Garden have fought themselves right back into this thing, just like we were talking about. Oh, there's the forfeit. Son of a bitch. Alright, so Pain drops the Photon, Kitsu on top of that. The old Fox Barrier combo, teleport to the high ground. Able to run down Seal Noises. Faruski did chop a Kitsu down low, but just not enough damage coming through. Oh, as I say that, I misspoke, because Maverick has fallen, and Bion is still alive and well. 91 to 99%, Amadu's gonna win that one out. Got it close on Bion, was able to close the gap. Bion couldn't quite separate, put any space between. Nothing to really peek around. Oh, and a nasty headshot will help finish off that one. Self-destruct. Vindy will not get back in mech. And this will be an opening round to Artemis. But I'll be if Garden didn't put up one hell of a fight there, friends. Right? on a 4,700 damage, 4,724. Amado at 4,760. Right, you look at 36 damage separating the two hit scans. Seal noises felt a little quiet. 3,700 versus actually had more damage. Just got killed a bunch. Right, Seal noise was definitely the focus. Look at that. I mean, 6 deaths versus 2 and 3 for the rest of the lobby. And I mean, that's just on, that's Artemis is putting attention and high value target on that Still Noise Symmetra. Still Noises will forego the sim this next time around, which means that, well, Garden are a little bit late onto this point. They're going to lose the run up here. This gives them massive positional advantage. Artemis, they teleport up top. Mardix picks up a kill. Still Noise is, I mean, just the rest of Garden were just kept on the low ground. Because of the lack of Symmetra, we're one step behind here in this opening fight. Don't! Artemis just popped Faruski. I think everybody hit Faruski after that swift step. Teleport up top from Pain is making life very difficult here for Garden. They're starting to get contained. Garden slipped up a little bit there and took for granted their ability to hold that choke. And Pain got right on top of him with this teleporter. And now they're going to struggle to get out of this spawn. This could be tough and eat up a lot of time off this clock. A quick pick would be just the thing. Either that or a decisive move out of here. Still goes into the... oh my goodness. Rock Muncher. Fincher. I don't know why their name just immediately jumped out of my head for some reason. I'm so sorry. But it actually works out. So they run down Pain with the Fincher. I guess that's what happens late Friday if it's streaming all week. You know, we're lucky I do as well as I do. All right, friends. Speaking of, you know, Garden's able to get control. Here comes the Kitsu in the Deadeye, right back onto the point. Faruski throws one in to match. We teleport around. There's a lot of skulls. Firecarder's going to drop. We jump down. Ooh, actually in a duel with Bion, the flashbang missed, and Bion lands the headshot and has an OC to play with. Seal Noises regrouping here. The overclock is popped. Mardux gets the brunt of it. Maverick equalizes with a kill onto the Curie on the other side. But still looking like Garden in control for the moment. Maverick low, pops the Annihilation. Then he's got them in a corner. Firecarder comes in to boop them out of said corner to see if they can get a shot into that fleshy underbelly. Or backside, if you would. I don't have your outlines on, but honestly, it's kind of... some part of me loves not having the outlines on. I really do, y'all. It's more of what the players are actually seeing. The players aren't seeing through walls, right? You know, this kind of thing. They don't know. They don't know. Bion doesn't know where they're going to come in from. Mardux, they all make it back. 94% on the board. Woo! Beautiful shot. Mardux tries to fake that. Oh, but Mavericks will not let you slide away. Photon barrier in play here from Pain. Bion does manage to take one down there posthumously. And it's enough. The two-piece from Bion opens that up. Even though Bion wasn't even on the battlefield for the second one. Tectonic shot. Could be thrown directly over a teleport. Could be, you know, just an easy telegraphing of what your plan is. If Pain and the rest of Artemis aren't careful here. Still Noises is just going to flank it. Suzu in a quick disengage, but you split 2 and 2. The teleporter just has to be used to kind of regroup. Now the Kitsune will move back on the point, and Amadu's able to pick up one. Drops the Deadeye inside the Kitsune Rush. Teleport back up to the high ground. What a clever little move. Unfortunately, does not work out. Still, Seal Noises dies. A beautiful flash shot from Amado. Finishes Faruski and Firecarder. And we're going to get a flip at 99%. Another hard-fought round out of Elemental Garden, but Artemis will take it in the end and the 1-0 lead in the series. you know, a couple more seasons of experience under their belt. Artemis are certainly the favorites coming into this matchup. And I was worried that Garden were going to get contained, like totally contained on both rounds. But they're able to bounce back. They don't get shut out on either of the rounds. They did get pushed into their spawn a little bit after a slip up there, you know, holding that choke. But Bion Company are you know, able to fight back out. Bion and Vindy able to fight back out, get control of the point, make it competitive. They're immediately going to ban out Maverick's best hero, and I love this. We're going to a Brawl map and take out the Brawl tank. We'll see what Vinny has up their sleeve. I remember a Wicked Hazard, or maybe even the Diva on Vindy here. The thing is, maybe it's going to be the Diva. We'll see. We'll see. The tank is protected, so we'll see how Artemis wants to respond as far as their ban. I'm going to get... let's see. I need to get that ban plugged in for you. Meanwhile, have a look at some stats. What stands out in the stat card? No change inside. Guard staying in the red outlines with the Ramatra ban. Stat-wise, I mean, pretty dominant there. And Seal does end up... Seal/Calliope does end up with most deaths in the lobby. I mean, you definitely kind of felt like they were targeted time and time again. Mobutu will have most elims. Most damage on the team. Bion actually takes gold damage in the lobby, though. All right, let's see. What do we get banned out here for map 2? It's going to be the Brig ban, is what Artemis decided to go with. Let's get into Kings.
Ready for battle.
Keep saying I need to make this a button. Like, make that a Stream Deck button. Let's see if I can figure out how to make that a Stream Deck button. There's got to be like an Overwatch plugin for Stream Deck. Maverick will go into the Diva themselves here with a... Yeah, we're being shown both Divas here. With that Ramatra ban in play. Lucia carry. We're going to get Soj Sim out of Diva's Pain, sticking with... I mean, this is such a powerful hero, fun hero to play right now. I've just kind of picked up Sim myself for the first time here recently. I haven't played literally since Overwatch 1 beta, and I've never played a whole lot of Symmetra. Somehow, my neurodivergent ass has never picked up the only neurodivergent hero in the game. At least confirmed. Teleport tricks work out well here. So what Seal Noise is kind of being the outlier here. There's nobody to really control the flex, and I think it is going to be up to Seal Noise's Calliope to try to open up this attack. You see, working into the house, they're thinking the same thing. There's a little bit of a battle for the high ground going on there. Whoops, let's go up to the high ground. How about some Bion Pop? Full rotation from Garden. They've been able to get everybody up here. Try to get just Bion into a good spot. They do lose Seal Noises, but I think... Okay, we're just going to back up. We're going to say Seal Noises' job was kind of done. You were able to get the team into the position they wanted. But the rundown here from Artemis, as soon as they find that first pick, all guns just turn, and Garden realized they were in a very vulnerable spot. Kind of got sandwiched. Seal Noises will move into the Reaper. Paint car has just been causing so many problems. Beautiful. I mean, very selfish teleporter use, right? I mean, it's very like Al-Qadisiyah reminiscent. You know, very, very much reminiscent of how Al-Qaeda uses their Symmetra. gets to engage from defense with the photon barrier to back it up. Faruski did match, but unfortunately for Guard, it looked like they were just kind of all forced back into the house. Trying to hold here on the back of, I mean, it's just Seal Noises here to lock this down with the Vindy swap. And so you do have some, you know, the up close damage of the Zarya is something you've got to contend with. I saw Flynn. Flimpy is like way over here on the other side. Still Noise is cornered. Boop did still manages to find a kill on a Mardex. I respect it. Looks like Vindy, Faruski are still holding down the house. Bion trying to fight their way in with Amado holding down this high ground, kind of in between where Bion wants to be, and currently is. Sound Barrier trying to collapse. Amado just gets out. Teleports down into Hotel. Backed up as Maverick and the rest of Artemis all regroup on this spot. They're going to surge forward and pick up Vindy. All guns just pointed at Vindy. Bio with a high ground OC will not get anything done. Maverick's able to fly that pick as well. Drop a self-destruct just to zone this point. Still Noises gets two with the Death Blossom in the waiting seconds. Can you start the OT? No. And then it's a pure full hold here for Artemis. No percentage. No progress. Still drawable. Only 4 deaths there for Iliad Artemis on that defense. Flimpy in the back line, never going down. And just such a good job of keeping Amado and Pain in high impact spots around the map. The moment they all push Pain, or excuse me, the moment they all push Amado on this quarter, right? You just get it teleported out of the hotel, you get them out. You see everybody kind of initially try to collapse into that stairwell. Finding 0 results. So we're going to get Vindy sticking with the Zarya, and Still Noise is sticking with the Reaper heading into this defense, but Bion coming off of the Sojourn will make a swap into this Freya. And the Freya is a good matchup against Amado in a vacuum. Like, just in the 1-to-1, there you go. Just like that. Freya can absolutely find the advantage. Now, a couple of mean shots land. Pain is low. Actually teleported back towards the double-decker. Bion's going to come up with their second kill of this defense. A shadow step from Seal Noises. 3 players from Artemis, kind of confined in the house, or on house arrest, if you would. Uh-oh. Their ankle bracelets are going off. They're trying to escape, run along the rooftops. Whatever you call this. Not quite a rooftop. Bion finds their 3rd kill. Maverick and Mardux are still in a little bit of no man's land. Mardux is going to swift step out. Maverick will eventually just fly away. Calipe will get that right for him first fairly early in this fight. Amado decides to just outrange the Freya entirely. Had gone over into a Widowmaker. Looks like for a little bit now. Sorry, I'm just not getting the call on that. I mean, the win up top. Bion not able to find. The bolo shot down low. Gets gobbled up by Maverick across the course of that. And Artemis take the 2-0 lead.
Play of the game.
This ends
So it's Dorado pick. I like it. You're still trying to keep Maverick out of the Ramatra. You know, force Maverick at least into the Diva. Try to play more high ground. The Symmetra is not spectacular on this map. Still playable. Wouldn't surprise me to see the Sim ban. Actually, we already got the Sim ban, didn't we? Yeah, we're gonna get the Diva ban. Okay. Look at some stats there from map 2. End up with very few deaths overall. Mardix does end up, Flume does end up going down once there on that attack. And we see Mobutu and Pain both got picked off. I think all 3 of those kills all went to Bion. Bion did have, you know, most elims on their team. It's gonna be an auto ban here out of Artemis. As we head into Dorado. Garden looking for a comeback. Keeping Bion on the Freya, I like that. I mean, we saw the impact had. I mean, and 3 picks just in a very short span there on that defense. So I do actually really like this pick. Vendi showing us the Winton here early. Maverick is actually going to be the one to pull out the hazard. I thought we might see Vendi go into the hazard. We are going to see Maverick go into the hazard. I wouldn't be surprised to see Mindy match this as soon as they realize that, yeah, Maverick is on a hazard. Looks like they are going to stick with it. Playing Pain out of the back line. He's gonna fight for his kill. Snuck up on Bion, I'd imagine. Oop. I didn't check the head scan, but you know that can be a dangerous corner. Tracer can lurk up there. If you don't check your corners, you can get ambushed pretty easily. Firecarter does find a important pick, but losing Winton means it might be tough. Oh, Still Noises chases Pain down. You do get your recall forced, but you still have both supports alive, and both of them have some high damage output. Yeah, you're gonna force Mardix out of there. And, I mean, good job. It's not pretty, but Garden fight tooth and nail with some grit here and get around this first leg of the journey for point A. Now you can hopefully get Bion set up in this window or something. You can hear the take aim bolts flying down range. Flying past the head of Flume. We've also seen Duck make a similar, make the same swap, so. Since last match, I guess. Bion wins out that head-to-head. Once again, we see the Winton going down early, though. And this is part of my concern of why they might swap to the hazard, just for a little more survivability. But it's, once again, this backline hanging on for dear life. Bion's able to survive through this one as well. So, Vendi being the only casualty. They do have Pain clocked in the back line, marked and forced out, at least forced to recall. We do get a contest up front, but a good bolo shot from Bion will immediately send Maverick back, and Mardix along with them. Comprehensive push there out of Garden as they put a point on the board with over 4 minutes left in the bank. Only cost him the bolo shot as well. I mean, well placed. Bion is definitely impressed. Even as as Elemental Garden have struggled here in these first 2 maps. Marduk's throwing down the Kitsu. Is that on the point or is that on the high ground? Okay. It was a take back stairs. What a disengage. Everybody just got ran over, it looks like. Bion with a fadeaway, puts a couple of bolts into Maverick. Just building up towards another bolo shot, I suppose. Oh, Bloomfie had a bit of trouble. Vendi smells blood in the water. He's going to go diving in after it. See a tidal blast later on top of this. About to say, you got some cooldowns out, but what a wonderful whip shot there from Flume. They do deny the stun. from that tidal blast. Bion picked it in the back, and Seal Noises will not plant their stick. So a couple of ultimates going to the favor of Artemis. But I will say Garden being able to get a little bit of space over here. We do get the downpour invested from Maverick. And a primal from Vindy helps them survive through this. And they're going to batter Maverick down. Rally in plane. Go. Just get smashed. Really nice fight. You're out of Elemental Garden. Bolo's shot lands on a Fire Carter, and the Rejuvenating Wave won't be enough to help you survive. So the DPS still alive here for Artemis, and Quack's going to claim another one before Faruski finally puts him back in the timer. I always forget those doors here. I honestly, like now, since that door got added on Dorado, I always forget there's an entrance there. Lion throws the ball shot down into the vault where the Kitsune Rush was used from Faruski. It's enough. Even though Maverick jumps out of the rush, they take too much damage while standing in it. Now some low health supports are just easy pickings here for Vindy. And despite some early struggles, the persistence to stick with the Winton is paying off here for Garden. Oh, as I say that, pain just cuts through Faruski and Vindy. Seal Noises looking for a back cat. We got a touch. Oh, but they were paying attention. Seal Noises sneaking a few more meters. All right, let's draw Pain card back. Oh, well, you just get destroyed. You just get destroyed. Seal Noises watching a respawn timer. Now down one of the fight. Precious fight for corner. 65 seconds to go. Roof surfing. All right, I'll stop. Keep an eye on Pain. Looking from the back. They're going to drop in with Quack at the overlook at the Bola shot. But Fire Carter landed looked to be a successful, well, momentarily successful tidal blast. 3v4. Vindy is going to pop the Primal Rage. 35 seconds to go. Oh, Vindy's just not able to isolate the targets they need. We have had a bit of a flip here. I mean, you know, 2v3 or a 2-3 split rather. Bion overwhelmed here on the outside, dodges the pulse, grabs the Mega, lands a couple of sticks and forces out the recall, dodges the shield dash with the upward draft. What a play there out of Bion. Bion was totally outnumbered over there and still managed to sneak away. Do we get a touch? All right. Vindy sacrifices themselves to ensure that we get the OT. Seal Noises will get cut down alongside Vindy, though. And I think this is the end of the line here for Garden.
Score 0-1. Switching sides. Initiating match. Ready for battle.
It's actually Artemis who paused. It's not even Guard. It's Artemis who paused. Oh, hey, we're getting back into it. All right. Let's talk about game stuff. Bion 4,900 damage. Quebster 5,200. Pain at 5,200. Do I do VOD reviews? I don't typically have time, but hey, you know what? I'm open to new content ideas. I won't lie.
2, 1.
Hey.
Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Yeah, there was something weird on the skybox, and it bounced the camera up all weird, and then it just like threw me all off. Yeah, all right, fine, stupid elevator. We'll go this way. I hate when the elevator breaks. I think we're kind of setting up for an attack on this top right high ground. We have a lot of players down low, more than I would expect from Garden. I think he's just trying to eat up as much time as they can. You can see there was an early, alternating, tagging in and out there from Vindy, and Seal Noise is here. Seal Noise is going to jump back down. Yeah, I think the goal is try to eat up as much time as they can, but they're not really finding enough damage to stop the cart. So the cart's made it around the corner, and Garden are going to have to back up to the statue. I say that. They're going to try to take this high ground back. It's a bit of a risky play. Recall force. Bion's down. Vinny's able to find Marduk's through the exchange. Maverick goes down as well. Pain will batter Firecard to a little bump on the forehead. And the card's continuing to roll here. They kind of look like it. Yeah, it's kind of what that looked like, LA Smurf. That's exactly what that looked like. It happens. It happens. Woo! Okay, still notices with a good victory. He's able to control that left side flank from, well, the defender's Bob. That's a huge pick. You see everybody, all guns just pointed at Maverick in this front line, where the Kitsu has been played, but Faruski has had the one match and had for every single fight. His backline from Guard has done such a good job, but it's just not quite enough here. Vindy will try to stall Firecard. Actually, I believe just threw the Tunnel Blast onto themselves. Vindy's able to get 2 with the ensuing knockdown. After Quenster, there you go. The Primal, get it done. And out of a 3v5, Garden just claw themselves into a fight victory. Okay, Pain does back out of there. We saw Pain was in a little bit deep. Oh, Bion wins that duel down Main Street, though. That's just more time off of a 60-second clock. A now 60-second clock, I guess is what I should have said. But yeah. Maverick pulls out the signature Ramatra. Beautiful headshot. We'll put it right back into spawn. They're not able to close the gap. You're just taking too much poke damage. As much sustain as the Ramatra has, you're just taking an enormous amount of poke damage there from Bion and in this Freya. Now, Quevster might be the one that could clear off that back left flank, really open up these sight lines and allow for Maverick Company to push in. Bion has already been forced back to that far back high ground. One take aim bolt lands. Bion drops down to the other side. Another one's in. They're able to survive. Quevster still holding on this Bola shot. 3 seconds to go. Bola shot used. Trying to find Seal Noises. They won't get it done. Excuse me. They'll try to find Fire Carter. Meanwhile, back on point. Seal Noises is trying to hold this down. Quevster gets picked off as Vinny catches them, trying to move back to this objective, and we're an OT fight. And chance at map 4 here for Garden. Maverick taking a lot of pressure from up above. Let's cut it on Bion. Bion be able to just sit back here and throw all this damage down range, making it so tough. Maverick is able to hole up inside this room. The Kitsune does make it out right over the objective. Bayon plan is Faruski once again has the match, and they're able to keep them off the point. Garden will take a map, their first here in Master Division. Send us to a map 4. Runasapi pick here out of Artemis. Do you ban the Freya? Great map. A great map there from Elemental Garden. I mean, talk about dig and date. That's the hardest one. That's the hardest map. For winning your first map here in the toughest division in FACEIT League, that's the hardest map. You've got that one behind you. Guard have now broken the seal. Question is, can Artemis stop the bleeding here? Or will Garden continue to claw away at the dam and more dubs come flow in their direction? It's going to be a Weeyong bang. A Weeyong bang? You know what? It sounds good, doesn't it? Or a Weeyong ban coming out here from Artemis. First map pick of the night from him. Looking at some stats. Looks really, really close. Wow, does that look really close? Some outlier deaths. Duck and Maverick. A little bit more deaths than average here. Bion, you know, gets picked on a bit, but puts up an enormous map at 8,200 damage. Can't take anything away from Vindy either. 96 leading the server. Really great, just team effort overall there from Garden. Huge game. Huge map, that is. So, what did Garden respond with as far as bans? Now we get that sim ban. Now that we're on a flatter map, we see the sim ban come out. This is actually a really smart ban and a high value ban. All right, so when you get Elemental Garden winning their first map here in Master Division, first map of the season. Now, granted, it's only their second series, but we head into map 4. And considering I am a Taurus Gemini cusp, this feels very poetic. Bion going back into the Soj here. With his, you know, as much high ground to work around. The lateral movement of the slide, sure, makes sense. Seal noises into the Reaper with the... Okay, we're gonna get the Reaper Zarya. Now, Garden have struggled with this so far in this series, but they're able to ban out the sim this time around. Let's see if that is, you know, is that the ticket? Was that the crux of the whole thing? I mean, Payne was giving him all kinds of fits on that Symmetra. We will see Duck come out on the Freya, so once again, does have a bit of a direct head-to-head advantage when dueling with Bion. I think Bion's gonna have more consistent damage onto Maverick, and you can see Maverick might be thinking the same thing right now. Obviously, you get an enormous amount of damage output from a 100 charge Zarya as well. Hey, at least they look good. I mean, I enjoy my cosmetics. I'm an artist. What can I say? Ooh, Maverick already low once again is going to get run down. And so without that sim to really rotate around, just using the Lucio has not been enough. You can see Industrial pop the ant, tried to get Maverick out of there. It just didn't quite work out. So 2 fights in a row here. Vindy and Seal Noises have just been able to run down the Ramatra. And so far, it has been a flawless opening couple of minutes for Elemental Garden. They've gotten a checkpoint. They're marching around the corner. Do I prefer mini cupcakes or cookies? I'm allergic to eggs. I don't like either. I'm allergic to milk and eggs. The Bolo shot out of Quebster. You're able to finally open up and find the first pick. In fact, you're going to triple down with a good headshot. Cap that 3-piece. Beautiful shooting out of Quebster. It's exactly what it sounds like, Phoenix. I mean, yes, a cupcake is already a mini cake. So it's like, yes, it's a little redundant, yes. They're like, I mean, bite-size. Death Blossom will find Industrial. Firecarter layered in a beautiful sound barrier well ahead of them. This will win out this 4th fight of the map. So 3-1 in team fight so far, favoring Elemental Garden. Chaco saying, get Amino back in, playing the best game of his life this week. Honestly, I swear like Amino was really tearing it up. I'm surprised we've seen the swap. I mean, I'm a big Quebster fan. Don't get me wrong, I'm a big Quebster fan. No, they're literally like one bite. It's literally you just put the whole thing in your mouth at once. Like they're tiny, tiny.
This ends now.
Seal Noises picks up one. Buy-in gets another. Industrial cut down before they're able to get the beat in. Woo! Pain card. Man. Just flew across your screen and ragdoll after that headshot. It's a bit redundant. It basically is the size of a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Yeah. It's like that size. That's actually a really good analogy. Good wall. A good swap out of pain. Immediately going into the May. And Vindy was like, yo. That was entirely too close. Elemental Guard, you can see how much room they're giving on the corner. Still Noise is holding there. Will cycle with Bubbles and Wraith form. Watch for long range. Look for Quebster to get set up here on this angle. Try to open this up. Might send Maverick in with this Annihilation as well. That's the Nemesis form. Kitsu to back it up. You're going to try to batter through Vindy, but Vindy's got a grab in. The grab is huge, but the sound barrier is in play there from Industrial. Double supportals, and it's Vindy who comes up with the pick. So the Annihilation now thrown in to see if Artemis can leverage this 4v5, but the beat is now in play. Vindy's going to melt through Maverick with this high charge particle cannon. But still marching here for Garden. And they look rejuvenated after that map 3 victory. Watch for Seal Noises down to that flank. Quebster fighting Fire Carter, though. Might have just stopped this and denied Seal Noises an opportunity to use their ultimate. Late stagger on the Vinny, successful there from Pain. It's just a cosmetic. You play ranked, drives are cosmetic. And you get, competitive points. That's all. Yeah. They just give you extra. They try to give you more cosmetic stuff for playing at the end of the season because the end of the season was notoriously bad to play, and so nobody played ranked. Which I enjoy my cosmetics, so I'm a sucker for that stuff. 3.5 to go. And a great pick. Seal still not able to get this Death Blossom into the fight. We've seen Garden invest in a 4v5 before, particularly if they're able to win this cooldown trade. Right? They've got the ice block out. That might just be it. There's the wall. There's Industrial down. Beautiful shot out of Bion. Bion is the beast. It might have just turned this thing. It definitely made it winnable. There's still a player down. But you're getting Guard kidnapping the bot. They've gotten their 4th back into this fight. It does make comp feel 10 times worse. But I'm a sucker for my cosmetics, damn it. Hey, I like to at least think I'm a competitive player. Speaking of competitive, oh my goodness, Garden, they're continuing to march forward here at the 2.5-minute mark. They have only had 8 deaths in totality throughout the first 8 minutes of this map. 4 ultimates for each team to work with. Industrial coming up on the 9th in the lobby. OC from Quebster to start it off. Pain Card's going to throw out a Blizzard immediately. Looks like it goes right on top of Vindy, but they're able to get out of it. There's a Kitsune Russian play, but Bion just gets absolutely run down. A death ball formation out of Artemis, and they chase out the most lethal player here from Garden, at least so far today. Vindy, though, does have a Graviton Sun to work with. Sound Barrier in play. They're going to play against this Kitsune Rush. Maverick is low, and I think they're going to wrestle this Ramatra down, even through the Annihilation. Grav still to work with. Pain already is in their cryo phrase. This is a juicy Grav looking in the making. Sound Barrier is out. Vindy trying to run away. It is a trade, though. You lost Steel Noises, you lose Bion. Minute 25 to go. Is Faruski able to get out? Oh, just barely. Ooh. That's the self-Suzu. There's the Swift Step back online. Faruski did not have that prior. So, nice footwork. They're out of Vindy and the two supports to regroup with these DPS, and they're going to be able to take another fight here in the mid, where Vindy still has this Graviton Surge. You catch Maverick, who's made a swap over to the Zarya. That actually is ended up getting 2 in it, forcing the Cryo Freeze out of Pain. But if you get Pain here, they're not getting a Blizzard up, no. In fact, they might do good to get a Blizzard up here in the final 42 seconds. Akitsu on top of Maverick might just be the map 5 that Gardner are looking for. Oh, you don't want to lose Seal early. I mean, even having to use the Suzu that early is not good, but Firecarter is able to find a pick. This is the OC in play from Bion, who's been just outstanding, and that's a beautiful headshot. Continues to be outstanding. 2 good shots, and a third finds Maverick, and Bion will force a map 5. Garden win 2 back-to-back maps. Let's go. They need 1 more, and they'll find their first series win of the season.
This ends now.
Bion. I mean, whew. Like I said, even the maps that they were losing, Bion was still having a high impact. And we saw it brought up in chat. I mean, and I'm a Quebster fan, but Amado, do we need Amado? Like, Amado seemed to be able to keep Bion in check. Did we see a change? I mean, is Amado not available and, had to leave or something? Man, that was a decisive. Look at that decisive pick. Artemis know exactly what they want to do. We're going to Monastery. We're banning out the Zarya. We're going to go into Ramatra's best map. I imagine we're getting Pain. Yeah, we're going to get Pain on the May. We'll see if we get a lineup change here. Let's go look at some stats there from map 3. Map 4, rather. What stands out in the stats? I mean, just a dominant performance. What can I say? 3 deaths in total from the back line. Vindy only dies twice in the Zarya, and where the Zarya Reaper had struggled for Garden early in the series. Man, did they make it work very well there. Now, it was the judicious use of the Symmetra Band, where they held onto that Symmetra Band through Dorado and used it in Runasapi. I think it was so brilliant, and I think it really enabled the Zarya Reaper to work here. Obviously, they're not going to have that luxury going into Shambali Monastery. All right, let's go check our bands. Let's go check our rosters. Amado is coming back in. It's going to get Amado and Pain in this, actually. So, okay, yeah, that's actually right. Yeah, Amado's back in for Quester. And we will get a Lucio ban. Bion is a beast. Map 5. My goodness, what a bounce back here from Elemental Guard. Can they complete the reverse sweep? Let's go. Let's go, Maverick.
Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Pain in the Symmetra, Maverick in the Ramatra, and Artemis. Get a pick here that truly favors them. Now, they are running the Juno. No Lucio here. So a little bit different backline, and we see Flume Feet come in because of that, right? We also see, I believe we see Floofy often play the Brig. So it may have the option to swap to the Brig if necessary as well. But that's an interesting little hero pool. With Floofy kind of playing the Juno in this double flex support setup. Just for maximum sustain and that little bit of extra speed onto Maverick. By far the highest heal output in the game. As far as just raw numbers with cooldown cycle and all that taken into account. And this is going to work out, even turning the corner and kind of LOSing their own heals there for a moment. Maverick's able to chase down what I assume was a cooldown advantage against Vindy's Nemesis forms. How that typically works in the trade between the Rams. So far, so good. In fact, I think it's so far so flawless here for Maverick and Artemis. Maverick 4-0. Pain 4-0. You can see just a lot of teamwork. Feels like the whole team was involved in most of the kills. What do you do when Lucio gets banned? Yeah, I just quit. Go carry, go carry. Yeah. Amado. Whoa. Cuts the wings off of seal noises. And Vindy just gets ran over. Faruski was, for the first time it feels like tonight, or at least in a hot minute, was behind in the Kitsune rush. Has had the match literally all night long. And this important fight here for the first checkpoint of map 5. Faruski is just about 5% behind, and it's enough to run down Vindy. Kiri, OP kit. I mean, so, if you can use it right, I think just, yeah, I think it's a very misunderstood hero, I will say. I kind of agree. Like, we just saw Spilo put out a video about that. It's like, I've been thinking that for a year. Like, the whole, like, she's just OP and then, like, an auto win button is so misunderstood. Especially, I don't know. This is as a tank player, right? Who actually, I understand that her sustain is, like, not near what an Honor or a BAP or a Juno is. Like, nowhere close. But that Kitsune Rush, man, is one of those powerful ultimates in the game. I'd love to see the stats on fight wins with a Kitsune. Bion's gonna pop an OC, try to carve through the beam from space. The orbital array will not be enough here to escort Artemis through this second fight. And for the first time in this 5th map, the defense will hold. Elemental, thank you for the raid. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I hope your match went well. You were mentioning earlier, I think you were covering one of your advanced division teams. You popped into the stream earlier. So I hope that went well for you. Vindy just gonna run down Pain. Oh my god, Pain got out of there with 1 health. This is gonna drop the photon barrier and try to respond. Vindy put themselves into a corner trying to get that kill. When they're not able to claim it, it was just a disastrous turn. Mariski's able to grab 1, but the pulse doesn't land. And Artemis are able to hang on. Otherwise, Bion actually trades 1 as well. So it's only 3 strong. Keep an eye on the speed ring to get the 2 DPS back. Versus the defense. First get 20% towards this Kitsu. Defense is able to stabilize. But we got a 5v5 right on the corner where Martix is going to drop down their already available ultimate. Faruski does build up that last 20%. In Wicked Time, though, they're able to respond. I believe that was Pain way deep in enemy territory. Amadou Limited zoning there with the Deadeye, but now they're backpedaling away from Vinny and Nemesis form. Pain was able to survive there in their deep run, returns to clean off the cart, and this is looking like 2 points on the board. Orbital Ray into play directly on top of Maverick. Seal Noises actually gets the title blast. Maverick will get cut down. Bion puts 2 into Flumphy, and despite the orbital in play, there's just too much damage. But the defensive guard will work through all of that sustain. Got DPS ults coming up online, as well as Mardix's Kitsu. Brewski's in line with this one, though. Has stayed in touch. I'm looking for this teleporter. You can see them all bunching up. Big group teleporter. Oh, no! The vortex was perfect. The shots were on point. We didn't even get a teleporter down. Artemis just collapses like a flat in a cupboard. Oh, Amadou not hit by the Suzu. Gets caught in the radius of the pulse. Payne just has to teleport out. It's back to the drawing board once again. Defense holds less than 60 seconds to go. Kitsu's still in play. You still have both of those DPS ults. This is our 3rd fight for having these same ultimates online here. Another good Vortex. That's going to get the Suzu out immediately. That was still Noises pressuring in the back line. We do get the Kitsu finally thrown onto the objective. Vindy is already running deep. Deadeye tried to swing out on the far right-hand side. Abido is able to swing back in and converge on the objective here, where the photon barrier works out a good dance. Artemis went out a messy fight with 12 seconds to go.
10 seconds remaining.
Yes, this is extremely high-level Overwatch. This is the best 16 teams in North America that are outside of OWCS. Title blast onto themselves. Looking to run down the Annihilating Maverick, and it works like a charm. Bion's got an OC in play from far right-hand side. They're looking to squeeze in, try to surround, create a kill box in the middle, but there's an orbital just hovering in that kill box. Still, we see the damage working out. A 2-for-1 trade. Vindy standing tall will batter through Pain and stop this cart in its tracks. 2 points is all Artemis will get here in map 5.
0 to 2. Switching sides.
Oh, Quebster.
Initiating match.
High ground formation, death ball comp. Well, as close as we see in Overwatch 2. Rumatra Brawl with Pain in the Symmetra.
One. Attackers.
Flumpy sticking with the Juno here. Bion with early showing on the Freya. I had great success with this. So back on Dorado. Or was it... actually, no, it was Dorado. They did swap into the Sojourn, like, for their defense. But they were using the Freya on the attack, I believe. Alright. Firecarter in a bit of a greedy position. Just got to teleport, throw it in on him. Is it a bait? It looks like Garden are able to hold this small house here. We do get the drop down, which is kind of the commit there from Maverick. Teleport is right on top of Vindy. Vaincar's gonna run in. Oh, Vindy's in trouble. Vindy just gets absolutely smashed. Hero Bob and Celerity are higher ranked than you. This is an S. Oh, thank you, Pale Bitch. I appreciate you. Oh, y'all are too kind. Y'all are too kind. So far, so good. Here for the defense of Artemis. 20% towards the Kitsune Rush. Faruski actually considerably behind in this one. And this would be just the ticket here. We look for Artemis to kind of bait them in. Oh, Bion! Bion, never mind bait. Just sent a crowbar right into the heart of this Artemis defense. Catches Flumpy. And the bulk of the sustain. Amanu's able to respond. And there is that Kitsu out of Mardux. But now there's no healers left. Defense be forced to just frag this out if they're going to win it out. That's not going to happen. Bion's not letting that happen. It's 2 minutes to go. Cart rounds the halfway mark through this point, right? So it'll be plenty of time for a recontest. Flumpy's providing a lot of speed, getting a lot of team fights back. I mean, a fight for the corner with Amado able to swing all the way hard left with that excessive amount of time. Now looking to chase down the back line and Firecarver gets popped. Amado will get this. Suzu stays alive here on this wide flank. Dangerous flank playing on the coast side. Seal's able to kill one, but Amado puts him down. And I think the flank is enough. They were able to open up the battlefield. And the defensive hole with 75 remaining. Where's that teleport go? Where does that teleport go? All right, now I got Photon Barrier and Orbital to work with. I think the Bolo shot hit the shield there, despite everybody looking so very bunched up. Amadu is going to get run down. It's a 3-2 split, and Bion's got the swing. Still Noises drop 4v4 on the point. That was Vindy that had the title blast, but look at the Photon Barriers just denying the follow-up here. There's a lot of particles going on screen, but Maverick just tilted the balance here in the favor of Artemis. Bion's trying to run down Flumpy. Flumpy's going to win out that duel. 30 seconds to go. Although these late kills might actually be an opportunity here for Garden. We'll see if they're able to make good on it. You can see Still Noises swaps to a Symmetra, trying to get him back as fast as possible. There's Flumpy back. Defense is back to all 5. Really no ultimates for either team. Look for Mardux to get a Kitsu in. Might push it over the line if they don't die sooner, if this fight doesn't end sooner. Bion swings hard right. Nothing, a really good purchase there. Has to take time to force off the Pain teleport into the back line. Able to return and shooting on the corner. Stubborn push, and all this time has definitely built up time for Mardux to build up towards this ultimate. Maverick's able to surge forward. Bion does land the bolo shot onto Amato, but it costs them their life, and it's a +1 here for Artemis. And the punches are too much. Garden force a map 5, but Artemis will stay the course. Move up 3-0 in the season. Amato comes in for map 5. And truly are putting up a great showing here tonight. Bion.
That's 2.
I think Bion's your player of the match. Am I crazy on that? I think Bion's your player of the match tonight. In this map 5 gigabanger. And I wasn't expecting this, right? Even in our own power rankings, preseason. But I was not expecting this tonight. We end up with, the team I have in 7th seed, taken to 5 maps by, a team I had, down here in 13th. And again, you see the little stars on these teams down here. That's why, right? Like, moving up into Master Division is notoriously difficult. And for Garden to come in and put up this kind of a showing against a well-established and high synergistic team as Iliad Artemis, they just behave as one mind, They have that hive mind mentality for sure. What a good showing, though. I think this really speaks volumes to Elemental Garden. And, them fighting to earn a spot to belong in Master Division. And I think that's what your first season in Master is all about, right? You're fighting to prove that you belong there. And, and look how close these stats are. Look how close these stats are on this map 5. Bion is, sitting there at 25-8, versus Mobutu, who's 24-11 on the other side. Bion also comes out with 14k damage, leading the server there for map 5. I think it's one of the only player of the matches we've ever given. I think I've only given one other to the losing team. I think I've got to give it to Bion tonight. No tears. No tears. This is a hell of a showing. Bion, I don't want to hear that. No tears. This is a hell of a showing. Yeah. Artemis move up to 3-0. Garden, you drop to 0-2. But your first 2 matches here in Master Division, and you're already showing us this kind of confidence. I expect good things from Garden for the rest of the season. But hey, you can't deny Artemis here in their 3-0 start after this one. They will face In Control and Nightmare Academy next week. Artemis could truly, just start here with a 5-0 season 7. And what momentum that would be when they start going into the upper parts of the bracket. Garden, you have In Control and Dreamland coming up. That's funny that both of these teams have In Control next week. So an opportunity to put up a dub there before facing one of really 2 of the toughest teams. But some good opportunities for dubs here along the way. Keep your chins up. Chins up. Chins up. Great series, though. Holy shit. Great series.